When you
Yeah.
want SQL should come, like you have a SQL things and you want to work on a SQL programming language, and then SQL scripting come up side. Okay, let me take the things. Okay, so this is all those whole process works.
Yes.
But in short, what we need our best reporting, and this report will succeed until you are not publish your report in a Power BI server. In
Yes.
server also we have three things. We have to also create pipeline for it. For development we have to create separate pipeline. For
Yes.
testing we have to create separate pipeline. For production we have to create separate pipeline. So for
Mm.
example, a developer working on the development pipeline, and in production, you know, right? In production means things will be done. So any updation will be done in, you have to do in the developing things. Then
Yeah.
embedded is a complete different things. For example, you want reporting, some APIs you want to create for your reporting, then we can do the embedded things programming. So this is the complete, and there are a lot of things will be also data source things. So in Power BI server, right? Because data is very important things in this whole process. So when you want to update your data, that is when, for example, at 150 right now, it's at Indian time it's 150. So at
Mm.
150 you did some changes, but directly you cannot refresh your data there, right? You don't want that refresh right now in the server because
Yeah.
it will impact your production as well, right? So you don't want it. What you have to
Yes.
schedule for it as well, that
Yeah.
when
We
it will be
automate.
refreshed,
We
right?
automate it.
So you
Yeah.
yeah, so you have to automate that part also. You have to schedule your part because production is very important, right? You cannot mess with the production data. So
That's
when
true.
you want to refresh your report, when the report will coming up, if any issue will coming in development, that we can handle it, but in production it will not, we cannot do, right? So that is how
Yeah.
we can automate that part also. How much data
Yeah.
it should come, it should be clean or not, that is very important, that our report should be looks clean. Then for example, someone viewing on mobile, okay, now this is we talking about in this whole scenario, we talk about the Power BI things. In when we in a laptop we see, or might be tab, we just take an example of tab because right now tab is also coming 12 or 11 inches, but someone is viewing in mobile, right? Then for mobile you have to same dashboard, you have to create it separately, okay, for mobile view. So for
Yeah.
mobile view also you have to create separately with the same report, but there you don't have to do lot of customization. You have to customize only your reports things, not your whole things, because the same thing you can just pull it out in your report view as well, right? Sorry, in mobile view as well, the same report. So
Yeah.
mobile view also you have to. So that is the whole thing. Okay, that's the whole scenario. And from the scratch, if you go with the scratch, like for example, you told that you want to learn from the scratch. For if we go to the scratch, then you have to first understand the business, because before proceeding any implementation in data, first we understand our business, then we understand business, that what our business does and what how it performing, right? Then we do our chart thing, what chart we needed. So like where we chart we required, like is we require the pie chart. So as per my experience, we use pie chart only for the huge comparison if we required. Okay, for the date format we only use line chart. So this is are the basic understanding which we have to follow. Then for example, some multiple things like filtration, how where we need filtrations, that is also little basic understanding. We need to know that how we where we needed these things, right? We don't
Yeah.
need so much complex reporting, because as much clean reporting we need. So now just now you have just one report. So for example, you clicking on this blue part, and
Yeah.
this blue part impact, for example, I'm just giving an example. So this blue part is about the whole India things, okay? But when you
Yeah.
click on this blue part, it coming up the only south region, south region something analysis it give. It will show you don't want the result here, because if you do the same result here, it will impact the other chart. So what you want, when you click it here, it will take up to the next reporting where your south region will done, right? With the you, so you have to create another report, report 2, where these two report kind of collaborate. Okay, these two reports should be like what say a concurrent kind of thing, like where you can see that difference with these two reports. Okay, it's kind of web thing, right? If you go to the website, when you click on home, then you click on Australia or India, somewhere any state, and then you see another page, then you see another page. So like this you want a kind of website page. So you again you have to do that customizable also in the reporting part. So that is also coming in Power View. We use with the help of drill through, I think you know, I think, or we can use buttons as well. We can use buttons, we can make the customize.
Yeah. I have used
Then
buttons in previous reports.
so we can use our buttons as well. So
Yes.
what our main job is, make simplified report but better out. Okay, so
Yeah.
client or like company can easily understand what it does, right? We can make a small automate, so we have smart view as well in Power BI smart, so we can put questions answers as well. So it's kind of very, and in the server, like I think right now you're using desktop, so in a server, if you go Power BI server, you can download a report in a Microsoft PowerPoint as well, so you can represent as a PowerPoint. So this is the whole scenario from end to end. What you do from the beginning, you have to import the data. To import it, it might be from SQL, it might be from folder, it might be from share folder, it might be your
Yeah.
OneDrive. Then second, after the importing, your second process is ETL, because without clean data you cannot process your things, right? So we
Yeah.
need ETL. So we have to clean it. Where we can clean it, we clean in a Power Query. Now how we clean it, we have multiple options. We can do the clean with the Python as well, we can clean in the M language, we can use Power BI itself dex, which we have, no, sorry, in the Power Query window we can use automate transformation things if we have simple transformation part. Or before proceeding the ETL, we can do the same thing in our data source, like SQL we have, MySQL we have, so we can create that
Yeah.
with that thing as well, like what tables we required as per our requirement, and then we do the normal ETL process. Once our data is get cleaned, then what we do, we come up, we like applied, and we come to the Power View window. Now in Power View window, as per the requirement, we do the analysis. Okay, so like for example, we need 4 sheets, so we do what we required in our reporting part, so we do analysis. Now in analysis comes our requirement. For example, some conditions comes, like for example, these 4 conditions, like these from shipping country and ship to country, and for example we have reasons. Based on these 4 shipping output, this should becomes yes and no, like this we want. So where we have to implement this, we have to implement in the DEX functionality, because this is a condition we have to implement, right? This kind of filtration we need all those report in a one, like in all those one sheet we required it. So we did it in the DEX functionality. Now after the DEX, what we need, we have to publish our report in a server. Once we publish our report in a server, now this is our development. Now in the production, the final outcome we need, so we like publishing, then we test it, and then we product, like we publish in our report in the production. Now something editing we need, some urgent requirement come, again we do in the development part. Now some data is new, data is updated, so data is updated one day before, so what we do, we schedule it, that after 30
Yeah.
minutes or one day before, we schedule it that this report will update in one day or 2 day, like this it is.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
the complete process. So after this whole thing, now your client said we want a final outcome, and you cannot show the whole thing is reporting. You don't want to show it. You just want a simply a PPT file. So what do? You go to Power BI server, you download your reporting in a PPT way through Power BI server, and you just show it.
First
So that.
important thing is what we need to know is that like you said that
Mhm.
we want to go step by step. So the first thing is that we know how to connect it to the server, putting the login ID and password. That is the basic thing that we know. But after
Mhm.
that, what, like, let's say if we talk why I'm taking,
Mhm.
it's not hard and fast that we follow this
Mhm.
report only. The reason we want to
Mhm.
follow this report, because then your and my task become bit easier in terms of
Mhm.
understanding what, because at the end of the day she has to do a job in this one, like she
Mhm.
has to manipulate datas, and she has to see
Mhm.
what the errors are coming, why server is not getting connected, or why there is some column mismatch. So those are the first thing that I would like, that if you can help with that first thing, like to, okay, fine,
Mhm.
let's say for example, when we go to when we are trying to refresh, what are the errors that are coming, why it is coming. If we start with that, then it becomes easier for us, because I think the first thing is the source part, like from where the data is actually been coming, and where it is getting staged. So if you can help
Mhm.
her with that first thing, then
Mhm.
that would be a good start. That's what my understanding is, that, but you tell us how to proceed.
Yeah, see, that is also I do when, like for example, but you guys already have experience. Some people doesn't have experience. So what I do, I go very scratch. I take an Excel sheet, then I show how the MySQL working. So of course, the data importing part is the first thing we have to import the data, where it's coming
Yeah.
from, right? It coming from
Yeah.
a folder, it coming from a server, coming from
Yeah.
share folder, where it is coming, right? That is our first thing, because that is how we
Yeah.
have to proceed it. So
Right.
definitely we have to go the first step, that how, where our data is coming. So we have to understand the complete. One more thing, the credential part. So for example, and if I talk about myself, so I have all the roles. Like I can go through my production data as well, my test data as well, and my development data as well. But in some cases, some people just allow you, you can do the things with only the development data. Okay, it is a, like, if you know, the production data is mirroring of developer data is mirroring of the production data, right? But production data, like developer data, is also scheduled that when it will be mirrored. Like for example, production data is updated on 2 days back, but our developer data is still 2 days old. It will not mirrored until you are not like mirrored. So that is also one case which I also like allow to my others colleague. Like I worked on directly production data or test data. So what I do, whenever we mirror a data, so it will, some tables will be missing in it. Okay, I don't know in your case scenario, but I'm just telling how it will be worked.